Hustle Daily, what's up? Hustle Nation, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me, man. Make sure y'all like the video, comment, subscribe, hit that thumbs up for me, man. Don't forget about that. Make sure y'all follow me on all social media platforms. My Instagram is on the top of the screen, and follow my main YouTube channel, We Hustle Daily, all right? My main YouTube channel, over 200,000 subscribers. Make sure y'all subscribe. I appreciate y'all, man. Story time, or how her best friend blocked her just for no apparent reason, just completely went ghost on her. So let's figure out what you do. What she did, y'all. We about to figure it out right now.
So here's a story time about my best friend of 10 years who blocked me out of nowhere with no explanation. Truthfully, I don't like to air out like this part of my business, but there was a lot of people in the comments who have gone through something similar, and I don't know, maybe something I have to say will resonate. This is in no way, any shape or form meant to like knock her down or anything. So basically, I was in Texas, which is where she lives. I was visiting and I was driving, and so on my way out I was gonna try to visit her, and I texted her. This was in August. Texted her and was like, hey, are you free on this date? And mind you, prior to this we had been texting and talking like everything was normal, right? And she replied, oh, I have an exam 3 days after that. So she's in a master's program, congrats to her. And it was like a huge what are these called? Standardized tests that she had to take. So it was like a really big deal. And she was saying that the test was 3 days after the date that I had asked to hang out. And so I just said, okay. And then the next day I was like, oh wait, just to like clarify, do you want company? Because maybe it would be like a nice break from studying. Or do you not want company? Like, because you're stressed and like want to study for your test, just to clarify. I didn't hear from her, and I was in Texas for a whole 2 weeks. So I took it as the latter. I didn't think anything of it, and then I texted her the night before the exam and was like, hey, good luck, you're gonna kill it, don't worry, whatever. I didn't text her the day of the exam. The day after the exam, I texted her, I was like, hey, how'd it go? How do you feel about it? Like, you know, are you happy that it's over? Like, was it stressful? Like, how do you feel? Didn't hear from her. At this point, I'm back in Minnesota already. I think I had texted her something like silly from social media, and I had like sent her TikToks and stuff. And then I tried calling her one day. I think this was about a week later, no answer. I waited like 2 days, called her again, no answer. So then I started getting kind of like a weird feeling. I was like, this is kind of long for her to not like reply to me, because it was going straight to voicemail. It wasn't just that it was ringing and going to voicemail. It was like straight to voicemail. So then I sent her a voice memo, and I was like, hey, I'm just worried about you. Like, I want to check in. Like, is everything okay? I haven't heard from you in a while. And like, if you want me to fuck off, like, I don't know, maybe she was like stressed about shit. So I was like, if you want me to fuck off, I totally can. Like, I'm just worried about you. So like, I'm just checking to see if you're okay. Didn't hear from her. At some point, I had also gone out of town. I think I went to Spain, and I sent her a postcard like I do on every vacation. And normally she'll send me like a picture whenever she gets the postcard, just letting me know that she received it. And I, at this point, knew like the postcard had to have been, like, she had to have received it at that point, and I didn't hear from her. At this point, we were still mutuals on Instagram, and so I think it had been like 2 weeks since I had been home, I want to say, about, and I messaged her on Instagram, and I don't know if this sounds like I was like overdoing it. I was just like hoping she's okay, because she's the type that whenever she gets like really stressed out and really overwhelmed, she really isolates herself. And so I was just getting worried that like, I don't know, I was just worried. So I messaged her on Instagram and was like, hey, did you like change your number? Because I've been trying to get a hold of you for a while, and like, I haven't been able to. I go back like a day later, and I click on her profile, and I'm blocked. Or I can't see her profile. Like, so I'm assuming I'm blocked. And then I went to my Finsta to see if maybe my Instagram was having a malfunction, and I also could not see her account from my Finsta. So at this point, I'm like, okay, bitch, take the hint. She doesn't want to talk to you. So at this point, I just stopped reaching out. That was in like August, September. Basically, it ends with, we haven't spoken since the end of August, and it's now the end of November. And I see some of you in the comments like conspiring and trying to throw around ideas as to why, you know, maybe she stopped speaking to me. I just want to say something that I have felt in the last few months, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is whatever the reason is, I know she made the decision to not speak to me out of her best interest. Knowing my friend as well as I do, and as well as I have over the last 10 years, I know that the decision she made has nothing to do with me. My best friend is an extremely emotionally intellectual person. She's an extremely anxious person. She's an extremely like well thought out an intentional individual. So I have to believe that she did this because whatever she needed in her life right now couldn't have me in it. And she made the decision that was the best decision for herself at this time. That doesn't make it any easier on me to cope, because now I'm grieving the loss of someone that I really, really love. And at the end of the day, I very well may never have an answer from her as to why she did what she did. And that's not really important. I was blessed with 10 years of friendship with someone who, to me, held up a mirror. Being friends with this person was like looking in the mirror and finally seeing a reflection back that I was proud of and loved unconditionally. And that's not something that a lot of people get, especially not for 10 years of their life, and especially their formative years. When I looked at my friend, I saw a version of myself that I wanted to be. She constantly pushed me to be better. She loved me unconditionally. She held me accountable and gave me the kind of love that I didn't think a girl like me deserved for a very long time, because I grew up in an environment where I was proven time and time again that that kind of love doesn't come around. And so if in this time she's choosing to prioritize herself and her needs, I want to let her do that and go in grace. I think a lot of times whenever these friendships that we've had for a long time end, we resent the person that's letting us go. Especially when it happens the way that it's happened for me, without any sort of answer or clarity or closure. But I don't want to look back on 10 years of my life and start picking it apart and resenting her, because that wasn't our friendship. I think for me now, the part that I am struggling with and the part that still hurts is looking at that reflection that's now shattered and knowing that I wasn't the one who threw the rock. I don't blame her for putting herself first in terms of where she stands in our friendship. It's not my place to decide how she deals with things in her life. And maybe she's in a place where she couldn't explain to me what was going on in her head. And I've been there before. I've been so down or so confused or so stressed or whatever that I don't have the energy to tell everyone in my life that I'm not in a place to give them my energy or my time or my effort. But I will say it's very hard to not take these kinds of things personally, and that's what I am working on, because I don't want to now look at a shattered reflection of myself and feel like I'm broken. The reflection may be broken, but that doesn't mean I am, and that doesn't mean that I'm not worthy of unconditional love or unconditional friendship. I do feel like I deserve an explanation, but I don't want that explanation to come because I'm forcing something out of someone that they're not ready to give yet, and may never be ready to give. I truly don't have a single negative thing to say about my best friend. And so when I think of her, instead of getting angry and resentful and sad, while I am allowed to feel all of those things and I'm allowed to move through those emotions, I instead just wish her well, because I can't assume that this was an easy decision for her. I don't think anyone who's ever lost me has ever done it with ease, because frankly, I'm not an easy person to lose. So ultimately, I have to trust in my heart and in my gut that the decision that she's making is difficult for her, but it's necessary for her growth. And don't take the person you're seeing for like someone who knows it all or has paid for enough therapy to like be this person. I hurt every day for it. I think about her every single day. I cry about it all the time. But I'm ultimately so grateful for her. And I genuinely hope that wherever she's at in her life, that she is fulfilled and that she's working to become a better person. And knowing her, I'm sure she is. So those of you who have lost anyone in your life, in any capacity, I hope you can find peace with it at the end of the day. And I know it's not easy, whether you're being cut off or lost someone permanently or what have you. I just hope that you find peace. And I hope you, if you still have love for that person, find ways to honor and love them in your life. Like I did when I went to Greece, and that was supposed to be a trip that her and I went on together, and it wasn't, but I thought of her the whole time, and I did things that brought me joy thinking of her, and that's all I can do at this point. I want to address a couple comments from my past 2 videos, mostly because I feel like it's a good opportunity to like talk about these things. This is in no way to like bully the people who made the comments. A lot of people were saying like shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? Or that I was overwhelming her by reaching out, which very well could be true, right? But I don't know that. I can't just assume that because something's not going my way that it's inherently going wrong, right? And I don't think it's completely out of line for someone who loves someone after not hearing back from them to reach out. At the point that I could see that my reaching out was doing more harm than good, I stopped reaching out. But the way that I was communicating with her was not outside of my normal realm of communication, and she knows that. She's my best friend. And to the people who are like, oh, maybe she has a controlling boyfriend all of a sudden, maybe she's sleeping with your ex. I mean this so respectfully. I think you need to unpack that. I think it's valid as women to assume the worst when we don't get the response from someone that we would like, or when someone doesn't deal with something the way we would like them to deal with it. My best friend has told me multiple times, if you don't hear something come out of my mouth explicitly, it doesn't exist. It's not true. So for instance, if she comes home and she has an attitude, I'm not going to walk up to her and be like, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? Like, why do you have an attitude? Because as the person feeling those emotions, it's her responsibility to communicate that to me in her own time. And I think people do this with partners a lot. You assume that just because your partner has an attitude that it is ultimately a reflection of how they feel about you, when maybe they had a bad day at work, maybe they had to sit in traffic for too long. Like, 9 times out of 10, it has nothing to do with you. And if it does have something to do with you, it's their responsibility to communicate that to you. And my best friend is very good about that. A lot of people held the opinion that she's not emotionally intelligent because people who are emotionally intelligent don't ghost people. First of all, this is my best friend, not yours, so watch your mouth. Second of all, what's not emotionally intelligent is speaking to someone based on emotions that are fluid and that may change. And in that moment, if she wasn't ready to speak to me, she could have said something callous to me that she didn't mean. That's not emotionally intelligent. What is emotionally intelligent is taking your time to go through your life and deal with things how you need to. It's not my place nor my job to make her deal with things how I want them done. I reacted to the situation in a way that was authentic to me, which was checking in until I felt like it was inappropriate to do so. She knows that I love her, she knows that I cared about her well-being, and now she knows that I'm backing off and giving her space. It's like that saying, like, when you assume you make an ass out of you and me. Until she comes forward, if that ever happens, and it may not, and I'm okay if it never happens, but until she comes forward and tells me, hey, you were the thing that, you were my 13th reason, you were the straw that broke the camel's back, and you were overwhelming me in a time that I needed space, I'm not going to assume the worst about her. I'm not going to play the what if game, what if this, what if that, because it's going to damage my image of her and it's going to damage our relationship ultimately. I think the responses that a lot of you have in the comments are honest, and I think they're very real. I think anyone would want an answer, right? And they would want to put it off on the other person like they're the villain. I don't think she's a villain. And I don't think that she thinks that I am either. I think people on the whole are genuinely doing the best with the tools that they have at that time at any single given moment in their life. And it's absolutely not for me to dictate how she should handle whatever it is she's going through. For all I know, she could be living her best fucking life. Like, 2 things that I know for certain: she's not doing this because of a man. That woman is practically allergic to men. And whatever she's doing, she's not doing it to hurt me. I know that for a fact.
Okay, I don't know what's going on, but shout out to her for not just dogging her friend out. I don't know what's going on. She seemed like she know her friend more than anybody else she do. That's her best friend. Her best friend going through something. She know her best friend going through something. Her best friend going through something. Maybe she doing something right now that she know that she not gonna approve of, and she like, shit, I don't even want to talk to her. You feel me? Like, who knows? But that's very weird, I would say, to go 10 years with... Nah, it ain't weird. Shit. It ain't weird. You be with a relationship for a motherfucker for 10 years and then they start acting crazy, right? You feel me? So, this is just life. You know what I'm saying? All you could do, reach out, see what's going on, reach out. But if you seen that you blocked or whatever, I'm just assuming, oh, they don't want to talk to me. It's fucked up, but... the reason really don't even matter. They don't want to talk to you. Sometimes we be wanting closure. I feel her like, man, I want some closure. Like, I'm trying to see what's going on. I ain't heard from my homie since. You feel me? But it is what it is. But I like her response though. She ain't dogging her best friend out. Shit, she just like shit. She going through something, bro. I don't think it's me. I think it's her. Something she going through. It is what it is. Shit, you feel me? I don't really got too many friends like that anyway. I got like a handful, two handful of friends, and I don't talk to them every day anyway. So, you feel me? So, I don't know. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me. Well, I do got one person I talk to every day, but yeah, I do got one person I talk to every day, my homie. But shit, man, that nigga don't want to talk to me no more. He don't want to talk to me no more. I'm a dude, so I don't really care about shit like that. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me, man. It's your boy Ray, big play right now. If my mama did it or something, Ma! Y'all know my mama's boy. Ma! Why you don't want to talk to me, Ma? Peace.